Welcome to the Light of Joy. This is episode 12. Today I want to speak directly to a wound many carry in silence. The unseen, unspoken theft of energy. You wake up, ready to meet the day, and slowly, bit by bit, someone's words, someone's tone, someone's lack of awareness pulls at you, drains you. Not always maliciously, but often unconsciously. People try to anchor themselves by dragging others lower. It's a way to feel taller without doing the work to grow. It happens in homes, at workplaces, on public transport, and in the seemingly harmless banter between friends. It often shows up in micro interactions, a sarcastic comment at breakfast, an eye roll at your suggestion, or a dismissive shrug when you share something vulnerable. These small acts, compounded over time, chip away at your energy reserves. Most people don't even realize they're doing it. It's habitual, passed down, and normalized. Recognizing these moments without personalizing them is step one. We must understand that not all harm is loud, and not all draining is direct. If we don't speak about this, it festers. We begin to question our worth instead of the environment. You don't need permission to acknowledge emotional theft. You just need awareness and language. This episode is about helping you claim both. Let's get something here from the get-go. Your energy is not imaginary. It's emotional, cognitive, biological, and it's limited. When you allow others or entire systems to siphon it without consent, you start to lose more than focus. You lose drive. You lose your voice. You lose yourself. We protect our time and money more than our energy. Why? Because if someone asked to borrow your phone and smash it with a hammer, you'd say no. Yet we let others hammer away our focus, interrupt our peace, and steal our enthusiasm in ways we'd never accept materially. It's time to start treating your emotional energy like your home, with boundaries, locks, and a guest list. Energy is your currency, and like money, if you don't track it, you'll wonder where it went. Start auditing your interactions. Who leaves you better? Who leaves you bitter? That pattern is your compass. In some cultures, and I say this with love, respect, and concern, the collective still runs on tribal operating systems. Independence is mistaken for arrogance. Boundaries are branded as betrayal. Emotional suppression is rewarded as loyalty. People are raised to sacrifice self awareness in the name of fitting in. And when individuality is stifled, what follows is often a quiet burnout masked as obedience. The tribal mindset isn't inherently evil. It was survival once, but when it becomes rigid, it turns community into conformity. You're expected to dim yourself so others don't feel confronted by your light. You're expected to shrink your truth to maintain the illusion of harmony. This is emotional taxation, and the cost is often your mental health. When one person in the group begins to question this dynamic, they're seen as selfish or ungrateful. But that questioning is how change begins. Systems don't change unless someone breaks rank. Emotional intelligence must replace emotional inheritance, and that takes education, effort, and courage. Relationships built on these frameworks can feel like that. You owe affection. You owe attention. You owe your exhaustion in the name of duty. It contaminates human connection. Companionship becomes control. Caring becomes correcting. Communities, instead of protecting, begin to police. If you're constantly performing to keep a relationship functional, it's not a relationship. It's emotional labor. In fact, when expectations become silent contracts, nobody wins. Unspoken emotional debts often create resentment, guilt, or numbness. Over time, these dynamics wear down your inner life, your creativity, and your capacity to love authentically. It's definitely not cold to ask, why do I feel drained after this interaction? That's clarity, not cruelty. Start asking yourself, is this love or obligation? Am I showing up as myself or as the version they tolerate? That inquiry is freedom. So, what's the way out? It begins with mindfulness, but not the commercial version sold on self help shelves in bookstores. Real mindfulness is not a 5 minute ritual. It's not about scented candles or empty mantras. It's awareness with consequences. Dr. Ellen Langer, the mother of modern mindfulness, describes it as actively noticing new things. It's not about detaching from reality, it's about engaging with it. Eyes open, mind alert, spirit alive. Ask yourself, what is happening right now? Why do I feel this way? What's the energy dynamic in this space? Dr. Langer's research emphasizes context sensitivity, recognizing how changing small details changes experience. That's power. For instance, the same interaction might feel energizing at noon but suffocating at midnight. Why? Because energy is situational. Learning to pause, reflect, and question these shifts sharpens your self awareness in ways that breathing exercises alone never could. You don't need to become a monk to be mindful, you need to become interested. Mindfulness is not detachment, it's radical curiosity. It means being awake in your own life, not sleepwalking through routines others scripted for you. When you walk into a room, stop scanning for approval and start scanning for energy. Notice who listens just to reply and who listens to truly hear. Notice who lifts you and who subtly shrinks you. This is not judgment, this is discernment. The body picks up what the mind tries to ignore. You feel drained around someone. Pay attention. It's not paranoia, it's perception. Not everyone is safe for your spirit, and you don't need evidence to start trusting your gut. Next time you're in a group, try staying silent for the first 10 minutes. Watch the energy flow. Who dominates? Who deflates others? Who invites presence? That observational silence will tell you more than any biography. I've always said you've got one of two ways: learn or be leached. There is no middle. Education is not just for employment, it's for protection. When you read, when you expose yourself to psychology, sociology, communication, and emotional literacy, you build a language for what used to confuse you. And when you name it, you disarm it. You start to say, I'm not cold, I'm clear. I'm not selfish, I'm safe. Self care is not a luxury, it's armor. Learning teaches you to set parameters around your peace. You realize healing is more than a buzzword, it's boundary enforcement. The more you know, the faster you spot manipulation, guilt trips, and energy traps. Reading rewires your sensitivity into strength. The stronger your vocabulary for emotions, the less likely you are to drown in someone else's silence. Invest in understanding why you react the way you do. Emotional reactions are often historical, and when you learn the history, you gain authorship. No more reacting on autopilot. You start choosing, and that is power. So, where do you start? Well, I'm not in a position to give you any kind of prescription or advice, but I'll tell you what I do. I turn off my phone after 9 p.m. I say no, without a speech, without an explanation. I read something that feeds my depth. I stop responding to messages that only serve as hooks for others' boredom. I surround myself with people who respect my silence as much as my brilliance. This is not about becoming a hyper enlightened floating monk. It's about building a life that doesn't drain me and doesn't drain you. So start small, but start today. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb while you eat. Schedule joy and moments like you schedule meetings. Set a weekly hour where you check in with yourself like you check in with a loved one. These small rituals build the internal scaffolding of energy protection. And if it feels awkward at first, that's good. Growth is not polished, it's clumsy, quiet, and powerful. The more you repeat it, the more natural it becomes. You need to understand that you have energy. You are energy. Every conversation, every decision, every boundary is a transaction. When you learn to protect your current, you no longer run on fumes. You operate from intention. You move from survival mode into significance. You don't owe your brightness to those who never show up with light of their own. Your presence is not public property. You're allowed to be selective. You are allowed to be where your soul feels seen. Living from purpose means your energy is no longer an open buffet. It's a curated experience. Not everyone gets a seat. Think of your energy like a garden. Not everyone gets access to the soil. Some people only know how to trample. Tend to it, protect it, choose who gets to stay long enough to water it. Thank you for sharing this space with me now. If this episode felt like a mirror or maybe a wake up call, share it with someone who's been running on empty, someone who needs permission to protect their light. And remember, your joy is not a luxury, it's not selfish, it's your birthright. Until next time, stay aware and stay mindful in the light of joy.